Not knowing when to turn off your Amazon ads is costing you all your profit on Amazon, and it's not letting you scale to where you should be. In today's video, I want to show you how to fix that. Now, just to give you a bit of context of who I am and why you should listen to me, my name is Iani. I've been selling on Amazon for over 5 years, and now I run a full-service Amazon agency called E-commerce Group, where we do everything when it comes to Amazon. All the advertising, all the listing creation, the SEO, all the fun part. Amazon is all we do. That's our bread and butter, and that's where we focus, and that's where our areas of expertise are. We work with over 20 brands, manage over 20 million in revenue and million in ad spend and ad sales. So now let's get into the video. I want to cover one very specific topic. When to turn off your Amazon ads and campaigns, and when to double down on them and really scale them. Because that's where I see where most of the issues are. It's either brands who are spending too much on too many different campaigns, are not cutting off their spend and optimizing it, or they are doing okay, but they're leaving so much money on the table with the campaigns that are making the most money by not pushing them and by not allocating the right amount of spend. And when it comes to Amazon advertising, there are no hard rules. This is what I want you to understand. It's all about testing. It's all about always optimizing. That is the key with Amazon. But there are very clear principles and best practices. And if you do understand them, then you can make a lot of sales and a lot of profit. Now, very important here, everything that I'm about to say, I'm assuming that you have a product that has a market fit, has good reviews, and that it has a good listing and it's optimized when it comes to that. Because if you don't have these things, we shouldn't even look at ads. We should fix that first and then we talk about ads. So let's start with the first thing. When should you turn off the Amazon ads and campaigns? And where should you cut spend and try to decrease damage? So when do you turn off Amazon ads? First, you need to understand your conversion rate, your average conversion rate, organic, but more importantly, advertising conversion rate, because that's what we're optimizing here, ads. So how do you find your average conversion rate? A very simple way to do it on ads is where are your orders and what are your clicks? Example, if your orders are 50 and your clicks are 500, that's a 10% conversion rate. So, okay, so now we know our conversion rate is 10%. That means that every 10 clicks we should be converting. So that's our guideline, that's our baseline. So very important distinction here. Ads that have incredibly specific keywords and very niche keywords and branded keywords, your own branded keywords, tend to convert much better. Ads that are more quote unquote mainstream, that have more of broad targeting or automatic targeting, tend to have a bit of a lower conversion rate, but it will even out on an average conversion rate. So if something is running over 10 clicks, if something is, instead of 10 clicks, it's 15, 16, 17, 20, then that would be a good time to stop it because you're clearly saying that it's not converting. I would also check the search terms. What are the actual search terms in the campaigns? What is Amazon actually searching? Can you negate some of these search terms to not have that amount of clicks with no conversions? If you can, then maybe it's time to stop it. Now, the big part is here. If you have 10 clicks, and now it's 11, 12, 13 clicks, I would make it run a bit more just to make sure it's tested. Now it depends on your budget, but give it a bit of time. Also, make sure you check after you stop it because Amazon's data is not live. Amazon data can run up to 2 or 3 days of delay. So you can stop something at 12 clicks with no orders now, and in 3 days you can find that there was an order on the 13th click. So that's very important. Check that. Also, be very careful not to stop campaigns much earlier. Don't stop campaigns at 3, 4 clicks if your average conversion is 10%. Because many times you miss a lot of sales that way. And also now, this is the tricky part here. If your average conversion rate is 10%, but you convert in the 12th click, then I wouldn't turn it off. I would maybe decrease the bit, or I would maybe just let it get more data. Depending on your strategy or goal and what you're trying to achieve, optimize your bit with a goal and a strategy in place. Because if you don't have anything in mind and you're optimizing, just optimize, you're wasting your time. Now let's go into the other side. When do we double down on Amazon ads? And this is very important because this is where I see a lot of brands making mistakes. Not only they don't cut their spenders and optimize them and lose a lot of money and leak a lot of money there. Now bear in mind, if you have 100 campaigns and out of 100 campaigns, 40, 50 are doing that, it starts piling up. But equally I see a big issue is your winning campaigns are not getting the right budget. They're either going out of budget, you don't push bids, you don't try to dominate those keywords, and that is a big issue because you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And remember, as with everything on most things in life, the 80-20 rule is very valid here as well. As you know, 20% of your products will generate over 80% of your sales. Similar with campaigns, out of 100 campaigns, probably 20, 30 are going to do very well. The rest are just either going to coast, bring some extra sales, or going to lose you money. So allocate that budget and effort the same way. And how do you optimize by winner? You push bids, you increase bids, and you increase budget, because many times times you run out of budget. You might not have to increase the bid, but just raise the budget. If your budget is $40 a day and you run out of budget all the time, increase it to 100, increase it to 300, so you can scale that spend. Now, if the budget is at the right amount and you're not spending that budget, then it's time to look at the bid. And how do you increase the bid in this situation for winning campaigns? You increase it gradually. If your bid is $2, you increase it to $2.10, $2.20, but you don't increase it to $2.80, $3 and $3.50 because you're overkilling it. You want to test, and the key in Amazon is to test and optimize and always be vigilant, and to do small changes often rather than big changes rarely. And that's the key. Optimize, but don't go crazy. And once you've optimized, make sure that you either record what you've optimized and you check what happened after that optimization. Because what I've also seen, people optimize and go from $2 to $4 and they're getting similar sales, but their profit is gone. So be very vigilant of that as well. And when it comes to raising, you need to be also very aware of the over optimizing issue. Don't over optimize. If something is working very well, push it as much as you can, but don't be there every day pushing and optimizing and messing with it. If something works very well, you want to work on it, but you don't want to mess with it. Something that a lot of brands are also missing is your ranking. Are you tracking the ranking of your keywords? Are you tracking your sponsor rank and your organic rank? If you're number one on sponsored rank and organic rank, and you keep on pushing the bid up and up, many times it's an overkill. If you're already number one, make sure you maintain that number one. But unless you're dropping ranks, there's no point to increase the bid and to increase the market CPC, because then you're just losing profit and leaving money on the table. And to really make this simplified is always look at the fundamentals. Cut the bad spenders. Make sure you're losing the least amount of money in campaigns, and if something is not working, cut it out or optimize it so you spend less. Make sure you test and you have enough data, but also don't overspend when you see something is not working. When you see something working, do the opposite. Spend a bit more. Make sure you have the right budget, and make sure you're doubling down on the winners. Cut the losers, double down on the winners. It's as simple as that, but you need to make sure that you're doing that consistently, and you're tracking it, and you have a system in place where you're tracking things. And remember, gut instinct is great, but data is amazing. If you have a lot of experience, your gut is going to help you, but if it's not backed by data, you don't want to do it. There's so much data. Make sure that your decisions are based heavily on data. Because remember this, Amazon is the biggest platform, and if you understand product, if you have good conversion rate, if you have sales velocity, and you're optimizing and managing it correctly, sky is really the limit, and you can make an insane amount of sales and profit. But you don't know when to optimize, you don't have a good product, and you don't know these things, Amazon is not going to be your best friend. So understand the game, win the game. Hope you like this video. A lot more is coming in the new year. I want to make sure that you're making the most money you can on Amazon, and you're saving on the mistakes that I've done many times, and I've seen brands doing all the time. So see you soon.